11 p.m. curfews were introduced Sunday in the city of Alvine, City of Friendswood, League City, City of Pasadena, City of Pearland, City of Seabrook and City of Webster. A mandatory evacuation order was issued for areas along the Brazos River in Fort Bend County. Dallas is opening a mega shelter capable of accommodating 5,000 evacuees at the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center by Tuesday morning. The Red Cross earlier said more than 1,800 people had taken shelter in 34 Red Cross and community shelters in Texas Saturday, and a shelter is also open in Louisiana. In Fort Bend County, a voluntary evacuation order was made mandatory for areas along the Brazos River, with the NWS predicting river levels of 56.1 feet, nearly 2 feet above the record during flooding last year. Harvey continues to batter Fort Bend County, said County Judge Robert Hebert. Residents who flooded last year know how serious this situation is. Flooding continued in and around Houston on Sunday night as citizens with boats assisted authorities in search and rescue efforts. Officials say they have executed over 250 water rescues and rescued over 1,000 people from floods. The U.S. Coast Guard's Captain Kevin Audet says 19 Coast Guard helicopters are also involved in relief efforts as of Sunday evening. Between 800 and 1,200 people had been rescued from their homes in Galveston County. County Judge Mark Henry said 1,000 additional National Guard members are being called in to help Houston flood victims affected by flooding, Governor Abbott announced via Twitter Sunday evening. The rainfall threatens to exacerbate an already dangerous situation, as Harvey's rains have left many East Texas rivers and bayous swollen to their banks or beyond. The breadth and intensity of this rainfall are beyond anything experienced before, the NWS said. Catastrophic flooding is now underway and expected to continue for days. The storm killed 2 people in Texas, authorities said, and the death toll will likely rise. A woman who drove her vehicle into high water in Houston was killed, and fire killed a man in Rockport. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner warned that some 911 calls are going unanswered as operators give preference to life-threatening calls. The 911 dispatchers in the nation's 4th most populous city have received 2,000 requests for rescue, Mayor Turner said. Houston Fire Chief Samuel Pena said his department had responded to 2,500 calls and have about 1,000 more waiting to be serviced. In a Sunday news conference, Abbott said, "We want to stress when there is heavy rainfall and flooding, the importance of staying off the road. If you drive into water, you're taking your life into your own hands." Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said he understands the compulsion to find safer ground, but urged people to think twice before venturing out into high water and to consider unforeseen dangers, such as manhole covers being lifted from their holes. In Brazoria County, south of Houston, officials set up an evacuation route for all residents living west of State Highway 288 and south of State Highway 6, ordering them to leave now. Under a mandatory evacuation order, those in need of shelter can take refuge in the Bell County Expo Center in Belton, officials said. The National Weather Service forecasts that remnants of Hurricane Harvey will bring heavy rainfall to Louisiana, posing serious danger to life and property of the citizens of our state. Significant life-saving efforts such as search and rescue, transportation to shelters, logistical support, and shelter operations are particularly needed in Beauregard, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jefferson Davis, and Vermilion parishes, Edwards wrote. The NWS predicted 10 to 20 inches of rain between Sunday night and Monday, he said, with major river flooding anticipated. Harvey blasted ashore as a Category 4 hurricane on Friday night, making landfall just north of Corpus Christi before quickly being downgraded to a tropical storm. What is unique in Harvey is that as the storm moved inland, a large high pressure built into the north end, basically, the steering currents, which guide Harvey, collapsed, said CNN senior meteorologist Dave Hennon. This has caused the extremely slow movement of the storm, moving only around 60 miles, less than 2 miles per hour. This has allowed the bands of storms to move over the same areas over and over,